Welcome to BetterTalks. This is your host, Brahim. I'm here with a special guest today, and I'm going to kindly allow him to introduce himself to the audience.
My name's Warren Miles Pickup. I am the Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Operating Officer of Pixel True, Pixel Copy, and Pixel Publishing. So we call them affectionately the Pixel brands. I essentially run all the marketing, all the operations for these businesses. I am a public speaker, a marketer. I'm a retired financial advisor, spent 17 years in finance, sold about $2 billion worth of product, left the finance world to jump into entrepreneurship, because I wanted more freedom, wanted the ability to run my own day and really wanted ownership over the results that I was generating. I've got a young family, 3 young daughters, a couple dogs, my wife. We live on an acreage on Vancouver Island, and just love life.
It seems like you have vast experience in so many things, from the financial industry, marketing, now you're into entrepreneurship and IT, creativity, company. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to experience a lot of different things in my life. It's been an absolute blessing to get to try all these different things and to see everything that the world has to offer, and then be able to really chase my passion.
So what are some of the transferable skills from your previous work experiences, bringing them into your new project or your new business?
That's a good question. I would say that every experience in our lives gives us transferable skills if you dig deep enough to recognize them. So the finance industry is an insanely saturated marketplace from a sales perspective. There are multi-billion dollar companies that are pushing products down the throats of the consumer, of the advisors, of everybody around them. And they all have massive budgets in order to advertise their products and to push them out to their potential customers. And so in order to differentiate yourself in a saturated marketplace, you have to really learn to be valuable. And that learning to be able to present value in a marketplace where the product isn't differentiable from one to the other gave me this incredible leg up in leaving that saturated marketplace to something that is significantly more wide open, where you can differentiate yourself not just on your product, but on the way that you offer it, on the way that you communicate, on the experience that you deliver to people. It gives you this incredible insight into what the consumer actually wants. And it's not the product, it's the solution and the experience that they have in receiving that solution. That's what they're really looking for.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
It's my pleasure.
My first question to you is, technology is pretty much disrupting how things are done, impacting the world in a massive way.
Yeah.
In educational institution, government, religious, obviously not just in the business setting. So what is the future of digital publishing?
I would say of digital publishing specifically, I would say that the future is really good for it. I think we're moving from a world where, the manufacturing of widgets and pieces was the center of our commerce, was the center of industry. And we're moving to a world where, content and entertainment is the center of our economy. Creating, whether it be books or videos or podcasts or anything like that, is the consumable that the population wants now. We're consumers of information rather than necessarily just consumers of goods. And so if you are creating something that is insightful and knowledgeable and has a unique perspective on a particular topic, there is a demand for that content. There's a demand for that entertainment. You've seen even the way that we watch the news or the way that we engage with politicians has changed from this desire to give information to almost like they call it politainment or news entertainment, right? It's really about inciting emotions in those people that are watching and consuming it. And so the entire world is moving away from, just the consumption of goods to the consumption of content, to the consumption of entertainment, to having something tickle your brain, so that you can not pay attention to all the other horrible things that are going on in the world. And so, being able to create content that is insightful and can actually make a difference if people are to take action on it is still a very profitable and a very good industry to be in.
The first time I'm hearing this, you mentioned that we're not just consumers of goods. Now we're consumers of information, content, and entertainment, right? And that's very profound because we're in a time where people now can specialize what they want to consume. You don't just feed people whatever you want to feed them. They decide what they want to consume. They decide what product they want. They decide which company they want to buy from. They decide which podcaster they want to listen to. They decide which influencers should influence them. What's your take on businesses who are still traditional, who are still have this mindset that business is just brick and mortar and they cannot digitalize your business? Do you think they're missing out, or do you think they're being left behind?
Yes, both. I think they are missing out. I think they're also being left behind. I think there is a world in which those businesses are necessary. As we shift more and more towards, digital presence and digital marketing and all these sorts of things, there is going to be a portion of the population that does not want to be advertised to in that manner. They want to take the time to go and walk through a physical location and make decisions based on that. There is room in the marketplace for everything. But I think if you're not doing the digital part, you're missing a big chunk of the population that has moved over to that methodology for their preferred shopping experience, right? They want to do research and everything before they come into the brick and mortar store. They want to be knowledgeable about what it is that they're looking for so that they don't come into a store and feel like an idiot when they're asking a simple question. Before you go to a restaurant, what do you do now? You go onto their website and you look up their menu, right? The same is true of somebody before they're going to go into the mattress store to pick up, to buy a Sealy mattress. They want to know what is out in the marketplace. And if you're not the provider of that information, they may decide that the provider of that information is where they are then going to go to get further information in person. And so you're missing out on a huge opportunity if you're not providing that digital experience alongside your brick and mortar experience, right? They also want to be able to go and check the inventory that you have in your store before they're going to spend their time, their very valuable time, to drive and go and see something. We have so many demands on us now that if you don't have that available for somebody, they're going to consider it as though you don't have their best interest in mind because you're not making it convenient. You're leaving points of friction in the consumer experience there.
Wow. So we live in a time where consumers have so much power. We see a lot of all these innovations from the US. Most of the IT companies are from the US. But I'm pretty sure there are Canadian IT companies who are in the market in different industry. I'm pretty sure your company is one of them. Can you tell the audience what you guys do, type of service or solutions you guys offer?
Sure. So essentially we have three main businesses. We have a couple of other businesses, but these are our three core businesses. We have Pixel True, so pixeltrue.com, which is our design agency. So we build websites, we build online landing pages, funnels, all of the things that a business would need to be able to do all of their digital marketing, social media, landing pages, graphics, social media, all that kind of stuff. And then we have Pixel Copy, which is our copywriting agency. So we write content for businesses about their area of interest. So for plumbing companies, we'll write stuff on plumbing. For travel companies, we write on different travel destinations. For news and media agencies, we'll write different pieces on what's happening in the world today. And then we have our publishing company, so pixelpublishing.xyz, where we help coaches and consultants to self-publish books. So we have ghostwriters, we have editors, we have proofreaders, designers, everything that somebody would need in order to get their unique ideas out there to build their authority so that they can then get out to help more people. The idea behind each of these is they were kind of verticals of each other. So we started with Pixel True, and then we just started building out other agencies that kind of supported each other, required each other's work in order to be the best version of themselves. And so what we're trying to do is build out this holistic platform that's able to help anybody that comes into us that needs to or wants to develop out their personal brand, develop out their corporate brand, build all the things they need to have a really high quality digital presence.
Wow. So these three segments of the business pretty much is like a one-place shop where, like you said, if somebody wants to have an online presence, can just utilize all the platforms that you guys offer.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So obviously AI is a big thing now. Have you guys integrated AI into your systems?
That's a really good question, and one I get all the time. For our design agency, sort of. So what we're using AI for is ideation. We're not using it for final production. So we will utilize artificial intelligence to present a number of unique options that we can then present to a client to see which direction they might want to go. Then our design team will take that and they'll recreate it in a custom way that properly represents the brand that we're working with. Right now, AI is not at a point where it is capable of just wholesale replacing designers. Mm-hmm. Do I think it'll get there? It's very possible as it gets better and better, but I think that there's still some necessary aspects of the actual designer and of people that are creative directors, because you need to understand how to integrate things like heuristics and cognitive biases and more complex subjects into graphic design. And if you don't know how to connect those two, if you're not properly entering in prompts or those sorts of things for the AI, you're not going to get as high quality of a product as if you hire out a design agency to do it for you. And when I'm talking about like differences in those the actual results from the two variations, so if I just use AI versus using a designer, it may only be a 1% conversion rate that you're looking at in terms of difference. But if you have a really successful website and you're getting 100,000 visitors a month, 1% difference in conversion rate is massive in terms of the actual amount of profit that it drives to your organization. And so I would highly suggest that people utilize, real individuals that understand what it is that they're doing when they're building out a website versus just utilizing AI. In terms of our copywriting agency, we have stayed completely away from AI. We're concerned about, for producing content that trips Google's alarms with regards to garbage AI content or anything like that. It's just not going to work. And so we have stuck with a purely human-based writing, and it's worked really well for us. The articles that we write for our clients do really well. We've taken over a number of clients that have gotten rid of their AI writers, their other writing teams, to focus just with us, because we're writing from a very emotive place. We want to, when we're writing, we want to create those emotions in people that makes them take action, right? If you are a believer in what you do, then you want people to take action when they read something that you're writing for them. Just giving information isn't enough. You have to be driving somebody towards taking action that's in their best interest. And then in our publishing business, again, we've avoided AI. It's purely for ideation and for helping come up with subtopics for chapters or those sorts of things. All of the actual content is written by individuals. So as much as AI plays a role, it's not an overwhelming role in our businesses.
Interesting. Thank you. The next question I have for you is that most times when businesses put out content out there, they don't take the time to present the content very well, because your content communicates. Hiring somebody who actually understands elements of design to be able to communicate that graphics, it could be a social post that will actually connect with the audience and for them to take action.
It's an interesting place where we're at right now, because companies like Canva do an incredible job. Like that is a remarkable platform. The amount of free content on there and templates and everything for people to use, it's fantastic. It has dramatically improved the world of social media for corporations.
Yes.
Having said that, social media goes in trends, right? And what worked yesterday won't necessarily work tomorrow as consumers figure out what are ads and they adjust to it and they move forward with what it is that's going to actually affect them from an emotional perspective. And so you have to constantly be using the newest designs and the newest trends and the newest language and all these sorts of things to be able to disrupt the feed that is scrolling past the consumer, right? On social media. You have to find a way to stop the scroll. And that is incredibly difficult for people to do with their own brand, because the majority of people don't want to be disruptive. They don't want to cause conflict. Okay. Whereas the reality is with social media that you only get attention now if you are creating conflict, because it drives the algorithm. It keeps people on the application. They are the longer they're going to spend there, the more likely they are to see your posts. And so, you need to be creating that content that is going to cause people to stop and want to read it.
Indeed.
And just using a template that is, nice and pretty is not going to do it, right? You have to be creating something that when somebody goes past, they're like, oh, what was that? What did that just say? That you have to stop the scroll with emotion, and you don't tend to get that out of templates. Templates are great for, somebody who already recognizes your brand, who's already interested in you, and it just supports keeping your company front of mind. But if you're a new business and you need to get attention, you need to build your brand, templates aren't going to do it for you. You have to be a little bit more edgy. You have to really push the envelope in order to capture that attention.
Yeah, that's a profound insight, because most of these templates are actually being used by so many people. What advice would you give a young person who's interested in starting your own business, innovate something, or start a project, but they're afraid because of many factors? It could be lack of funding, failure, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's a great question. My answer would be curious. That's the number one thing you can do is just be curious about everything. Ask a lot of questions and find the problem that you are truly passionate about solving. Don't find a problem that's profitable and go down that avenue, because that will only hold your attention for so long. You want to find something that you are truly curious about. Find the problem that you want to be the best person at solving and go down that road. And you will find it a much more satisfying life than just chasing after the money or the fame or anything like that. You will be truly intrinsically rewarded because you know you are helping a group of people that you actually care about.
The last question is for your company. What is the why of your company? What is the purpose behind what you guys do?
To help businesses and individuals grow their brand and find the customers that are going to gain the most value from the product or service that they offer.
So that's what sets you guys apart from the rest?
Yeah, we care. We want to be partners. We want to work with companies to increase their success because both they and us believe in what they are doing for the people that they serve. That's
awesome. Awesome. So if you can share with us your upcoming projects.
Some of the fun ones, we've got the launch of book 4 in the collaborative coach series for Pixel Publishing. We created a series of books that are multi-author life coach books. So they'll have anywhere from 13 to 18 life coaches, each writing on their specialty within a particular topic. And then for Pixel Copy, we're working on a number of news and media agencies that are having us write articles. For Pixel True, we're going to be rebranding our website, coming out in the next couple weeks, which is super exciting. And yeah, that's about it. Those are the big things for each company right now.
Thank you so much, Warren Miles.
It's my pleasure.
For your precious time and